account.
Okay, excellent. And just as a disclaimer for anybody that's on this meeting, it will be recorded and it will be uploaded to our various YouTube and probably our Facebook just for future reference. If you do not want to be seen, please go ahead and turn your video off and you can still participate with us. All right, so we're still at 17. Nobody else has really joined in the last minute or two, so we will go ahead and get our meeting for Irby Elementary PTA for the 2nd of November 2020 started. I don't have our minutes from last month, so we will get those and we'll approve those next time. But I want to go ahead and just jump right in. Adam Hall is supposed to be joining us. I don't see him on right now. So we're going to go ahead and skip to number 2 and introduce Ms. Jackie Johnston. And she's going to make a small presentation about the 1 mil initiative that is on the ballot for tomorrow. And if you look in your packet that was sent, I sent a couple other handouts as well, just kind of explaining more. But Ms. Johnson, take it away.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be brief. I had a lengthy presentation that I gave to the City of Alachua. I'm not sure everybody needs to see that, but so I'm just going to give some basic information and really talk about how critical this year's vote is. We are facing pretty significant financial difficulties this year. We're looking at a potential deficit of somewhere in the neighborhood, potential cut of somewhere in the neighborhood of $16 million just for this year. And we expect further cuts next year. On top of that, we've had to spend about $12 million on COVID. And the federal government only sent us about $6 million to cover COVID. So it didn't come anywhere near to covering the cost of all the COVID expenses we've got: PPE, training, cleaning supplies, cleaning equipment, all that kind of thing. And we know those costs are going to continue to add up as this goes on. So we're facing a pretty significant fiscal crisis, as bad or possibly even worse than we had in the Great Recession, which is when the 1 mil was first passed back in 2008. And give you a little bit of information about the 1 mil. It was first approved by voters, as I said, in 2008, and then it was renewed in 2012 and 2016. And basically it equals $1 for every $1,000 of the taxable value of your property. So if you don't own property in Alachua County, you don't pay anything. If you do own property in Alachua County, this is actually costing you somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 or less per month for the average homeowner in Alachua County. But since it's been in place since 2008, and then voters renewed it again in 2012 and 2016, this isn't going to cost you any additional money. This will not increase your school property taxes because it's been in place since 2008. And in fact, based on the budget and the millage rate that the school board passed a few weeks ago, and that comes straight from the state of Florida, your school property tax bill is actually going to be lower this year than it was last year, even with the 1 mil. So that's one of the good things, is that nobody will have to dig any further into their pockets for this to go through. Last year in Alachua area schools, so Irby, Alachua, Mabane, and Santa Fe High School, the schools serving students in Alachua, the 1 mil paid for nearly $1 million in salaries and technology in those 4 schools. It was about $972,000. This year at Irby Elementary, it is help to pay the salaries of 5 teachers, including your counselor, your media specialist, art teachers, and music teachers. At Alachua Elementary School, it's helping to pay the salaries of 4 teachers: counselor, music, art, media specialist. Mabane, 3 teachers, counselors, band, chorus, and media specialist. And at Santa Fe High School, it's actually helping fund the salaries of 9 teachers: counselors, media specialists, the tech coordinator, band and chorus teacher, and the career tech teachers. On top of that, the 1 mil is pretty much all the money we have these days to pay for technology. So that's all the computers we have in classrooms, the the projectors that you see in the classrooms, but it also paid for all of those laptops and hotspots that we gave out at the beginning of this school year. So at Irby, for example, 101 laptops and hotspots were paid for through the 1 mil. At Alachua Elementary, that number was 82, Mebane 114, and Santa Fe High School 115. So without that source of funding, I have no idea how we would have been able to fund all of that technology, including the technology that went home with kids who were doing distance learning. So the one of the things that is also critical now, probably more than ever, are our school nurses. You may be aware that our school nurses, they're important anytime. And for a lot of our kids, they are the primary healthcare provider for a lot of our kids. But this year, of course, in the age of COVID, they're even more important. All of our school nurses have been trained to do COVID testing. And so anytime a staff member or a student presents with symptoms, it is our school nurse who is doing the testing. They work with the health department on identifying cases, on helping with contact tracing. So they are absolutely critical. They always were, but they're even more critical this year for our schools. And we want to be able to maintain them. And it's the 1 mil that guarantees that there will be a school nurse in every one of our schools for the next 4 years. So that's why the 1 mil has become so critical to our schools. And certainly this year more than ever, guidance counselors, another prime example. This is, if there ever was a year when we needed counselors, this is it. But even after COVID leaves us, we want to maintain all of those programs that make our schools so successful. And that's the media specialists and our art and music programs, our career tech programs, our academic magnet programs, all of those things that the 1 mil pays for. The only reason we've been able to maintain them at the level that we have is because of the 1 mil, when a lot of school districts during the Great Recession had to cut back or lose them altogether. But we didn't have to do that, and we certainly don't want to do that in the next 4 years. So that's my Reader's Digest version of why the 1 mil is so critical to our schools. And I say that as a grandparent of a child who is in one of our Alachua County public schools. So I certainly wanted to be in place for him. He's in 4th grade now, and I wanted to be there all the way through 12th grade for him and for all kids in Alachua County. So I raced through that really quickly. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Floor is open if anybody has any questions. I'm pretty sure we got mostly teachers in here, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's voted yes for that. It's very, very important. Does anybody have any comments?
Jackie, I do have a quick question.
Sure.
I do support the 1 mil, but from my understanding, for the nurses, the funding came mainly from Medicaid. Is that not correct?
No, that is correct. And that's what we shared with folks back in 2008. When this first went on the ballot back then, we had been told that the funding for our school nurses, which comes from either Medicaid or the state, could possibly be cut. And we did not want to take the risk. So that's why school nurses were placed on the ballot. And we've kept them there every time we put it back on the ballot, because that funding is year to year. We never know what could happen to that Medicaid funding. We never know what could happen to that state funding. And so this is why we say the 1 mil guarantees that no matter what happens in Washington, no matter what happens in Tallahassee, we will continue to have a nurse in every single school for the next 4 years. And there are not a lot of school districts in Florida that can say that.
Right. And for the technology piece, could that not be considered an existing update with the half-cent?
Well, except that really the technology updates for the half-cent was really meant for infrastructure, for wiring and other things that needed to be done to our aging facilities so that they could support all of the technology that is now so critical that wasn't in place when most of our schools were built, and our average school buildings are more than 40 to somewhere between 40 and 45 years old. So a lot of them really weren't built with the infrastructure for technology. So yes, technically that money could come from the half cent. However, with the list that we put out to the public for the half cent, all that money is pretty much spoken for the next 12 years, for as long as that the half cent lasts.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions that they'd like answered about 1 mil?
Me too.
Oh, they're lying. I'm gonna tell you that now. All right, excellent. Well, if you haven't gone out to vote yet, make sure tomorrow when you go to vote yes for 1 mil. I know personally pushing that on my social media, plus just trying to educate others about it as well. So very important. Ms. Johnson, we appreciate your time.
We
And
appreciate you.
you are welcome to hang out and listen to the rest of our fantastic meeting with our amazing teachers and staff. With that being said, do we have Adam Hall, or has he not popped up? No? Okay. So we will move him most likely to the next meeting unless he pops up by the end. But we are kind of on a time limit because we have some other things going on this evening. So the next thing I want to talk about, I was talking with Lindsay Harris, who's our treasurer, who's been amazing, by the way. We haven't updated our bylaws. I think she said since 2013. Is that correct?
That's what Member Hub says. If anybody has any updates since then, I don't know, but according to Member Hub, that's what it says.
Okay. So we have a general Florida PTA bylaws that we had filled out and printed for you guys. And as far as the board goes, I would like to try to vote on this tonight if possible, so that we can go ahead and get that implemented. Brittany, Brianne, do you guys?
This needs to be voted by general, like the whole body.
Okay. So I do apologize.
Yeah.
So if anybody, I don't know if you have a chance to read it, but then, so how do we vote on this? We just have them type it in the comments? We have to roll call.
You can you could do all, I'll make a motion to accept the minute, or to accept the bylaws as they are.
Okay.
We'll need somebody to second that motion.
I will
And then-
second.
Awesome. So Lindsay Harris seconds that motion. And then Gary, you'll ask all in favor to say aye. And then you'll say all opposed to say nay. And then that will cover it.
Okay.
So the motion is on the floor to accept the bylaws. And Gary, you can kind of take it from there.
There's a motion. We do have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi. Hi.
Any opposed? All right, and I am aye as well, so we are good to go.
The ayes have it.
Yes, the ayes. And our new bylaws have officially been put in place. Thank you very much. Real quick, want to talk about something that happened on Thursday. And if you were there with us, thank you so much. Please do not mess with those lights. We had our first spirit night, and I tell you what, I didn't know what to expect, but it was amazing. Skate Station had told us that was probably one of the largest ones that they've seen, not only from Irby, but one of the largest in general. So I want to thank each and every person, parent, teacher, who came out to join us, and we will no doubtly do something like that again. I just wanted to kind of open up real quick, see if anybody had any comments, anything that they wanted to say about Spirit Night, any concerns, comments. Fantastic. Well, it was great. We raised a couple $100, which was awesome. I probably spent a couple $100, but that's okay. And I'll tell you one thing: whoever dresses up in that, let me say it again. The Irby Eagle has to be really, 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 really hot when they come and make their presence. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now. Next, let's talk about our pumpkin contest. I went today and picked up some of our pumpkins that were already completed from the PTA box. So thank you for the teachers who have gotten those to us. If we can, Lindsay, when is our deadline on that?
Today.
Today, fantastic. Okay, so I'll make one more run tomorrow to the school. If any teachers have any that are ready to go, we'll pick them up tomorrow. We'll do our pictures and we'll have that contest going.
We're supposed to announce the winners Wednesday.
We're gonna announce Wednesday. Okay.
Correct.
So I know I'm gonna take pictures of all of them and we're gonna just do this as a board.
We can email to whoever wants to vote. I mean, if you want to put your email down saying that you want to be on the voting committee for the pumpkin contest, we can send it to the whole group of people.
Okay, fantastic.
Can we put that out on social media to allow others who might not be on tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm good with that.
Yeah, we'll just we'll label each one with a unique number or letter or whatever, and then we'll tally those up. So I saw a couple of them, and they're super awesome. So I'm very proud of our students. Starting tonight, our bedtime stories read by community leaders resumes with Commissioner Shirley Green Brown. This is something that, as I've said before, is just kind of taken on a life of its own. Something that was only supposed to be, maybe a week has turned into about 3 weeks. And we just keep on getting community leaders that want to participate. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I'm actually trying to push it towards just really anybody. I mean, it's a Zoom meeting. It doesn't have to be exclusive to Irby. I'd like to get Alachua Elementary and maybe Archers, maybe some of the other schools involved too, and see where that'll go. So that is going to start almost immediately after this meeting, I believe, in about a little over half an hour. Some upcoming, does anybody have any questions about the pumpkin contest or bedtime stories from community leaders? All right, fantastic. Some upcoming events. We're going to have we're going to do a financial session with Edward Jones Financial. This is not only geared towards the parents, but teachers as well. If you'd like to hop on, general public, we're trying to do things that are going to be beneficial to the community, and financial responsibility obviously is something big, and not everybody has the ability to get in front of somebody. So I'd really like to push that, especially for the parents, just to help give them something if need be. And then teachers, if you'd like to hop on as well, you're more than welcome to. We're also going to do drawing lessons by Jason Zucker, who, and Bree, correct me if I'm wrong, he used to draw for Disney, correct?
He worked for Disney. I didn't realize we were using him. He is amazing. He's one of the best artists I know. He's done personal artwork for us. That's so great.
Yeah. So he actually did a whole Winnie the Pooh thing for our daughter when she was born. I mean, hand drew and painted it on the wall. It was amazing. But he's actually started his own page, because he would just go on and draw characters and kind of explain how to draw. So we're gonna get him, and he's gonna do a couple sessions with the kids. I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna decide, what he's gonna draw. Would like to try to get the kids involved. So maybe give them a choice of 2 or 3 things and let them decide, or we'll just pop on whatever he draws. They're gonna love it. I mean, he's an amazing guy, and his artwork is fantastic.
He is so talented.
Yeah, he is. Lindsay and Brianne, I'm gonna let you guys talk about the School of Excellence. Yeah,
okay, I'll go ahead and start that then. So, so part of the National PTA is offering the School of Excellence opportunity for us, and we have completed the application currently, with the exception of we have to send out a baseline survey to the school staff and parents to complete. And then once we have this survey completed, we're going to come up with an action plan to try to increase, different areas that we feel that need to be overviewed, I guess, with it. And I'm sorry, I'm outside my house right now. But at this point, in order to complete this, we have until November the 15th to get this survey responded to. And I know that Lindsay was working on trying to determine how to send this out this week. So please make sure that all of the parents, for you teachers, that your parents are fully aware and engaged, and answer this as truthfully as they can, so that way we have an understanding of where we need to better ourselves, so that we can get that School of Excellence achievement at the end of the year. And then we'll have a 2-year designation that will have a big banner, and it's nationwide. So our school is already being pushed out there across the United States at this point on a big survey or on a big spreadsheet. Lindsay, do you have anything better to add?
Nope, you got it.
All right, fantastic. Thank you both for working on that. That's awesome. Does anybody have any questions about the School of Excellence? Excuse me.
If anybody wants to help with the School of Excellence, we will take help.
Yes,
Yes,
we always take volunteers. So if there's any teachers out there that would like to do that, please send us an
Parents.
email or let Ms. Floyd know, and we'll definitely we can.
Lindsay, did you figure out what platform you're going to use for the survey?
So I have Qualtrics. I'm just seeing if I can tailor it from UF to
Right.
To all the Irby stuff. If I can, I think Qualtrics would be the best, because you can really break down all the data.
Yeah.
And it's easy to pull the reports out of it, and you can collaborate on the projects inside of
Right.
Qualtrics.
So sometimes, like, I've worked with somebody from UF and she had difficulty allowing me in to collaborate. So that would be my only, if you need help with it.
I have no, I deal
Okay.
with people outside, because my ad council I deal with outside of UF
Okay.
on Qualtrics, and they don't have a problem. So
Cool.
that shouldn't be an
Cool.
issue. It's just a
Okay.
matter of removing our logo and putting Irby.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me know if you need help and I can help in Qualtrics.
Okay, great.
Excellent. One thing I would like to talk about real quick, and Ms. Floyd, if you can jump in on this conversation. We have not run our Irby store all year. And now I'm not super familiar. I didn't participate in that last year, but I am assuming somebody just was there with the cart and sold stuff. Am I correct? Is Ms. Floyd with us still?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So the school store, it was open in the morning. I don't remember exactly if it was like 2 mornings a week or 1 morning a week. And sometimes they would set up like down at the main entrance of the cafeteria for like sometimes families would come and walk in through that gate, and then the actual, and so they'd have like some items on a cart that families could choose from, or like when we had the big dads take your kids to school, we had it set up down there, as well as the actual like store in the actual like PTA like office area. And then I would showcase some different items on the morning news to kind of stir up interest. I haven't heard anything about changes to the visitor policy on campus. I would be open to exploring maybe some items on a cart, kind of like we did for Meet the Teacher outside of the building, where parents, because we still have a lot of parents that park and walk their child up to the main entrance of the buildings, and then a lot of traffic coming through car drop off to where families could park and come, and that way we wouldn't have to go through the entire screening process with people coming into the building, but we could, you know, still exercise social distancing with people, you know, waiting in line to purchase something.
So just kind of throwing this out there, I wonder if it would be a situation where maybe we had not maybe not a teacher, but maybe a teacher aide, a volunteer, somebody who's already there. You know what I mean? I wonder if that'd be a situation that we would want to think about. But I haven't really heard a lot of people ask me. I mean, maybe one or two people have asked me about the store itself, and in those situations, we just got them the items personally, whether it be through staff or the few times that we're up there. So I don't know if you're hearing a lot about it. I don't know if we're losing any kind of significant revenue. Understanding from where our bank account is, I'm going to say that's probably a no. But just something I wanted to kind of throw out there and see what people thought about maybe doing it. Kind of bringing it back because we do have a lot of items in there, and a lot of them are like scented items. So I don't know the shelf life of these things. If we got them last year and weren't able to sell them, and then we don't do anything with them this year, are they going to still be good for next year, or what the situation is? So, any thoughts, comments, concerns on that? Okay, so we'll kind of push that and work with Miss Floyd and see how that's going to go. Our Christmas store, I got an email from UPS saying that on, what day does it say? I don't have my eyeballs on. Tomorrow, that we have a package coming, and it is from the Wonderland gift shop. So I guess the stuff is on its way, or maybe they're just sending some free stuff. I'm not really sure, but if we can let the front office know, and they can just call me, and I'll come up there and see what. I mean, if they deliver 30 boxes, then yeah, definitely call me. If it's just a small little something, I'll just get it out of the box. But we do need to kind of figure out how we're going to structure the Christmas shop. I mean, I would still love to have the in school, with the social distancing and everything. I'm positive that we can make that work without any problems. There's plenty of time in the day. I'll be happy to devote. We will need volunteers for this one for sure. So if anybody that's on right now would want to volunteer with that, please let us know as soon as possible. So that way we can just go ahead and fill in the gaps where we need and get that going. Does anybody have any questions about the Christmas store? Fantastic. All right, Ms. Floyd, anything from you?
We are officially starting the second 9 weeks tomorrow. And when I left work today, we had 17 students coming, starting with us tomorrow. Some of them are coming from Florida Virtual. Some are coming from Alachua eSchool. Some are coming from our digital academy back to brick and mortar, and some are coming from out of county transfers. So we are looking forward to having those families rejoin us, brick and mortar, or start with us tomorrow morning. It will be eventful, to say the least, but we're looking forward to it. We do officially have Miss Cruz, Rosalind Cruz, has transitioned into our art teacher position, and she comes to us she is so positive and has a lot of experience. She's very passionate about social activism and art, empowering students and integrating that with other content areas. So Miss Hunter, who was in that position, will be transitioning to support in the BRT role, really assisting with student supervision. And then Sherney Bellamy, who was initially hired during the hiring freeze as a long-term sub, has now officially come on as our media specialist, because that hiring freeze has been let up. So we're real excited to have them be a part of the Eagle family, and we're looking forward to great things with them along the way.
Excellent. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I met our teacher. She came and said hi, and
and they were both at Skate Station, which is incredible.
They were. Yeah, I never saw our big picture yet that we took. I'll have to find that, and maybe it's.
I believe it
I'm
was
sorry.
Miss
That's
Coer
my
that took it.
I know I'm upstairs, she's downstairs, so I was kind of hoping she would hear that, but so we'll get that up, and
my bad.
any pictures that if you were there, if you took pictures that you think would be great for yearbook, please send them our way, whether it be by our email, member hub, or Facebook. You can send it directly to the messenger portion. Um, but before I get into that, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Floyd, and do we have any teacher comments? I was told I didn't give people long enough to respond, so I'm trying to give you a couple of seconds. Anybody have any questions? Okay, fantastic. Um, and I skipped right over our treasury report, and I do apologize, Lindsay. So you can go ahead and do that.
No, it's fine. We don't have much. I did have one question. Miss Floyd, has anybody at the school had time to do the audit?
The audit is in my office on the table. Tomorrow is a work evening in lieu of the workday on Friday. So that is on my to-do list. I know I keep telling you that, but I have to find willing souls. And this is the end of the first 9 weeks. And I'm trying to keep my staff calm and cool and collected. So I work really good with like deadlines. So you and I can get together and you just say, Floyd, I need it by this day, and I will make it happen.
Okay. Because the deadline was the 31st of August.
Okay,
Technically, we're not supposed to be spending money.
okay, well,
The
then
book was in such good shape that
the new deadline is November 3rd. November
Okay.
3rd, 5:45. Got it.
And thank you.
The reviewers or no?
Huh?
Can I be one of the reviewers?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I didn't know if it.
Yeah, you're not on the account. You're not a signer. You're not a treasurer, president. So yeah,
I am a signer
no.
for the checking account.
Correct.
As far as I know, you're not.
For the PTA checking account, you're not. You had to be on the account
She
because you're
signed off on the
just saying that this is who we're. So since you did that, technically you're on the account, but I believe PTA wise, everything has to go through our treasurer, right?
If I can be one of the reviewers, then that's one less person I have to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
The
So
only-
you're good.
Floyd, it's Ms. Jimenez. You can pass by my room tomorrow around 8. I can do it. I don't know if you heard me, Ms. Floyd?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Rothwell too.
Oh, look at that. Okay. It's I'll go through it. I'll show you guys. It's like a binder with a lot of receipts. You just need to match it up with the statements, but perfect. It will be done tomorrow, Lindsay.
Since
Awesome.
my intern is teaching in the mornings, I have from 8 to about 9 open.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
So, and I can tell everybody the current balance in the account is $22,208.20. So that's pretty much it for treasury. There's nothing.
Yeah. Excellent. And I got a piece of mail from the insurance company, so I need to get that to you as well.
Okay. Oh, and the 990 was filed today.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
are good for the deadline.
All right, fantastic. Do any of our teachers have any comments? Any parents? All right, fantastic. I'm going to have our next meeting scheduled for December 1st. That is a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, please make sure to go out and vote. Tomorrow obviously is your last day. Yes, for 1 mil. That'll help a lot of people. With that being said, our bedtime story begins in 20 minutes. So you guys can all take a break, and then I want everybody to come back for the next meeting. Let's show Miss Shirley our love and our appreciation for her taking time out of her evening to do this for us. And anytime you can catch it in the evenings, Monday through Thursday, 7:30. And if you can just share some of our posts from Facebook. If you're not on the PTA page yet, it's just look up Irby Elementary or Irby PTA, and it should pop right up. And it's also linked to our school page as well. So with that, thank you very much, everybody. Do we need a motion to adjourn? I can't ever remember if we do or not.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, parents.